Welcome to Unleash Your Retirement with David Koren from RVA Wealth Management. Our podcast is all about providing anyone considering retirement with the confidence they need to pursue their dreams in this new phase of life. We cover a wide range of topics, from retirement planning to investing with purpose, all while making you laugh and keeping things lighthearted. With David's years of experience and guest industry leaders to help guide us, you'll walk away feeling informed, empowered, and ready to take on your future with confidence. So sit back, relax, and get ready to join us on this journey to a new life.
Hello and welcome to the Unleash Your Retirement podcast with your host, David Koren. I'm Wendy McConnell. Hi, David. How are you?
Fantastic, Wendy. Good to be here. Enjoying the warmer weather here. We're getting a little Indian summer, we call it here in January in Virginia.
January. What?
Yeah, we're getting a little Indian summer. It's supposed to be 72 degrees.
I didn't know that. How
on
nice.
Friday. Yes. In the
It's
60s.
insane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very
We had
nice.
snow last week.
I know.
12 degrees in the morning.
Yes, it was very cold here.
So who is the lovely woman speaking next to you, David?
This is Robin Colton. Robin joined our firm last year as an advisor. She came over from Ameriprise. She's 24 years plus in the industry. We're really, really happy to have her with the firm. She's been a great addition. We've enjoyed working with her. She has a wonderful dog by the name of Jack and another one by the name of Daisy, and we love seeing them. Today, the topic is women and working with women in the financial services industry and how important that is. We want women to live financially fearless and really take control of their finances. And we were talking the other day about this. Robin and I were talking about women in general in her office, and it's sort of funny. I tell people, really, I have two male clients, two. In other words, men that are not married that are clients. Every other client is a woman.
Okay. Or part of a couple.
I don't count the couple. It's the woman.
Okay.
The woman makes the decision in almost every situation. Not every single one, because there's a couple of exceptions, but even those, she's probably going to be the deciding factor in many cases. So one thing I learned a long time ago, I knew that already coming in, working in this industry, knowing people like I do, and knowing how married couples and knowing how my situation works. I know who's going to be making the final decision in most cases, and it's going to be the wife, if they're a married couple, that really is going to be the one that decides, do I trust this person? Do I feel confident in this person? Are they explaining this to me? And are they treating me with respect? Not something
Correct.
What did you say the other day? That's something a lot of advisors don't do, right? You were saying that. Women tell you that.
A lot of my female clients say they've been with male advisors and the men won't even look at them sometimes. The male advisor will focus on the man and they won't even look at the woman. The woman comes to me and goes, I don't know why they don't look at me. We control the decisions. We control most of the money. And so they're more comfortable with a woman.
And the other thing that really is not good about that situation is if the husband passes first, she's more than likely going to move her money immediately.
That's exactly right. So the warning to advisors out there, if you're not working with the wife in the situation, you may be saying bye-bye to that money in the future if something happens to the husband. That's very true.
The majority will leave the advisor when the husband passes.
And one of those statistics, we were talking about too, is that by 2030, women will control 67% of the stock market wealth in this country. 67%. I mean, that's a staggering number. So we need to be thinking about that all the time as advisors. And we need to empower women to make decisions about their finances and help them to become confident and fearless and be able to address their finances, we were talking earlier, in a stress-free manner.
Mm-hmm. They want to be heard. They want you to speak to them the way they want to be spoken to. They want to be asked, what do you want to see? How do you want to meet? Do you want to meet face-to-face? Do you want to do it on Teams? Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? They want you to look them in the eye.
Yeah, women are traditionally disrespected and dismissed a lot when it comes to certain topics, and we're tired of it.
Yeah, we are.
I don't blame.
Mm-hmm.
What are some things, Robin, that women should do, especially and think about when it comes to their finances and retirement in general, too?
Well, first, you need to meet with a financial advisor that you're comfortable with, one that will meet you on your own terms, that will answer the questions you want answered. They're looking for education. That's number one. Women are finding it difficult to get all the education they need around finances. And you touched on some of the points as far as how much we'll control, but the numbers are even more staggering than that. We're looking at 40 trillion we'll be controlling another 40 years. It's unbelievable.
$40 trillion will be controlled by women.
I know.
Guys, wake up.
Yep. Yep. And we want to meet face to face. We want to be heard. We don't want to be spoken down to. We want to be educated.
And I think that's part of the reasons that I work with a lot of women in my practice, single women, divorced women, et cetera, as well as the wives that sort of run the show. A lot of,
they do,
because 52% of all management and leadership positions in the United States today are held by women.
Yes.
And they carry that over into the home as well. So if they're in a leadership management role at work, they often are also in a leadership management role at home.
Even if they're not at work.
Even if they're not at work. That's right. We have to remember that they want, one of the things that we do in my practice, and I know you do this too, is education is so important. We want to make sure that there's complete buy-in by our clients in what we're doing, so they understand our process. They understand the steps that we're taking to protect them in down markets, where they understand what we're doing to make sure that they have the cash flow needs met. They understand all this. And that's why I teach my class on retirement planning, which I have coming up. I'm teaching in February and March here in Richmond at Randolph-Macon College, and then at the Jepson Center at the University of Richmond. I enjoy teaching those classes because they are really, really worthwhile for everybody who attends. And I do think I get a lot of single women in those classes because they want to be educated. Like you said, they want to know what's going on and how to think about their finances and how to think about retirement. And they want that knowledge. And then it's also important, if you're an advisor, to continue that education process throughout every meeting, every relationship, every contact you have, that you're constantly making sure that the client understands what's going on and what you're doing and why.
Yeah. And women, we know that even in a marriage, there's a 60% chance that your husband will die before you. And you will be left alone to manage the bills, looking at your protection needs, looking at your cash flow needs, learning how to manage everything from the investments to budgeting to everything. And we know that, and we need the education.
I think that should be a call to all women that, hey, don't wait. I mean, yeah, your husband's doing stuff now for you and he's managing the finances, but you need to understand that stuff because he probably will not be around forever. And you probably, I know you don't want to think about it, but you probably will be alone at some point and having to deal with all of these things yourself personally. So understand the impact, understand how your tax rates will go up if your husband dies, because they will. People don't realize that. We call it the widow tax. Because you fall back into a single taxpayer bracket, and then all of a sudden, boom, your tax rate is really higher. The other thing that happens is you're going to lose income when your husband passes away. So you may not be able to maintain the same standard of living that you had before. You might have to make adjustments. So all of these things are things that women really do need to be thinking about and preparing for when they think about their financial future. Yeah, great. Hopefully your husband outlives you. That would be wonderful. But those are not the odds.
Not the probability. And it's really interesting too, because you think that the woman is going to initiate this, but a lot of times with my clients, the husband wants to make sure their wife knows. They know they might be a little bit older and going, okay, statistically, I'm going to die first. I want her to be in this meeting. I want her to understand. I want her to be involved in it. And sometimes you'll get hesitancy. Like, oh, he takes care of it now. No, you need to know. And I'll have to take the woman's side sometime and go, he wants you to know because he's protecting you. Right. And look at it as a compliment. It's not like dragging you into something. It's a compliment. So he cares for you. He wants to take care of you. And he wants to make sure you are taken care of.
Yeah. Absolutely. And they have to pay attention to that. I mean, they really should, even if they don't want to. It is something that they need to be comfortable with
Yes.
going forward. Most women are, but not all. Like I said, a lot of women, they'll think, I'll let the husband do it. I don't have to deal with that. I don't want to think about it. It's his job. You need to understand what's going on. You never know what might happen. In addition to that, when we think about the marketplace in general, I don't know if you knew, a lot of people don't realize this, but 70 to 80% of all purchasing decisions in our economy today are made by women.
Yep.
70 to 80%. I mean, that's staggering when you think about it. Let's face it, there's not a man out there that I know of who's married who will go out and buy a big ticket item without consulting his wife first. And if he does, he's making a big mistake. A big mistake. He could be in big trouble. That's a no-no.
Happy wife, happy life.
Well, there's something to that, but that doesn't mean he can't take on a leadership role and suggest things and all that kind of good stuff. But he better consult his wife, and she will probably be the one making the final decision. And I don't think a lot of people realize that's very true. In most cases, I have noticed with the clients I work with that are married, in most cases, it is the wife that makes really the final decision. Now, he may think he's making the decision, and that's all well and good, but she's making it. And I know she was making the decision.
Yes.
Especially when we talk in houses or remodeling or things of that nature. I know where that's going, where that decision.
It reminds me a little bit of the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where the daughter's like, the man is the head of the household. And her mom's like, yes, but the woman is the neck. And she put it in the right direction.
And the woman controls that head.
Right.
I didn't see that movie. Now I wish I had watched it. Oh, boy.
Very
I have to
true.
remember that. That's really good.
Yeah.
But that's so true. It really is. Women need to be fearless about taking charge when it comes to money. If you're an advisor, hey, you need to be working with the women, making eye contact, working with them, making sure they know you're looking out for their interests as well. I know I've got a lot of situations where we have got similar to what you're talking about, where the man really does everything, but he's in here, he's visiting with us, and he's doing that for his wife.
Yep.
He's engaging with us so that if something happens to him, we're there to help her through the process. We're the fallback. I've got several situations that are like that.
Me too.
Where we really work with the man, but we know he's already known. It's clear. He's actually, I had one client say it's even in my documentation, my will, and my trust and everything that she needs to come to you guys for help with this. Cause I know that she's going to need help, and she's met you. She knows who you are and all of that. Now I know she doesn't come to the meetings regularly, and I'm making the decision, but she's the one. I'm with you guys for her.
She's got your business card.
Yeah.
She knows exactly
she knows
where
exactly,
it is.
right? She will call you. So keep that in mind too. And that's really important. And I work with a lot of people under that basis where we're the backup, really.
So do I.
Very important for advisors to remember. And then also for anybody out there looking to work with an advisor, and hey, maybe your wife isn't that involved. Well, hey, you need to plug in with somebody because you may not be here all the time. And if you really care about her, which we're assuming you do, then you need to hook up with an advisor that can be your backup if something happens to you.
If a woman has a situation where her husband's been taking care of everything for the life of the marriage, and then he passes away, and like you mentioned, it's in the will or whatever, that she needs to come to you, but what does she need to learn at that point? Is this something that she should start paying attention to and kind of getting a handle on before she's to this
absolutely
situation?
Yes. And in most of those cases I mentioned that she has been into some meetings and she does know who we are. She does know what's going on, but she doesn't come to every meeting because we meet with meetings with clients 2, maybe 3 times a year. Now, she might come to one every other year, that kind of thing. At least she's plugged in. At least she knows what's going on and has had that opportunity to be in those meetings to know the process. And that's really all I ask and hope that we can get to that point. I haven't really had a client where I didn't at least get that engagement.
The majority of mine, the woman is engaged. She does come to the meetings. I've only had a couple where they haven't. And I've really kind of pushed it. Please have your wife come. It's really important. I'll call her and say, I would really like you to come to the meetings. I know you're not really all that interested, but maybe just sit there and listen. You'll, observe something, you'll absorb something, and they end up coming. You have to push it a little bit, get them to come in. But I'd say I probably have only had one or two where they just flat out don't want to come.
I've only had a couple, but I still got them to come at least once or twice. We still get them in there because we really do not want to. It makes it really difficult for us if we haven't gained some rapport with the wife ahead of time and trust. That's right. The trust doesn't necessarily transfer just because we work with the husband.
No.
We need to be able to establish that with the wife as well. Real important to do that. And I just would say this, for women that are afraid, hey, don't be afraid. Just learn the basics. Get to know the basics. Take an educational course.
Yep.
In our case around Richmond, come to one of our classes because they're very, very good classes that cover everything on personal finance as well as estate planning. You'd learn a lot and you'd be able to step back and say, hey, now I get it. I understand why. And if you are a single woman, for whatever reason, divorce, or you just never married, you should work with an advisor. I mean, let's face it, your money's important. You shouldn't put it off. Go in and talk to a good advisor, get affiliated with one so that you've got a partner on the finance front to bounce things off of, to get good feedback on, and they can help you navigate the world of finance very well. So that's important to be able to do that, I think.
And I know some of my clients who have said that, well, I'm afraid I don't understand it. I just say, I will draw pictures for you. And I make it very simple and you'll just go, wow, is that all you're talking about? I thought it was so complicated, but it's really not. And it's not that complicated. And another way to get them to come in the meetings is to go, well, you know what? Just go to a nursing home. What do you see there? You see women. We outlive the men. We need to learn. We need to know. And Absolutely. That might scare them into coming, but for whatever reason, as long as they come, and then they're happy once they're here.
And that is a fact. I mean, women do live longer than men. And one of the things I have noticed that there's usually an age gap between the husband and the wife. And in many cases, not always, but in many cases, the husband's quite a bit older.
Yep.
3, 4, 5, even 10. I've got 15-year differences in age. So that's a big deal when you start thinking about longevity and the planning process. And that wife is much more likely to spend a lot of years on her own.
Yep.
Having to deal with finances herself.
She needs to know.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. The more educated she is, the better prepared she is for whatever comes her way.
She's going to be taking care of everything and she's got to learn it. And the women I meet tend to be much more educated. A lot of women have right now degrees that are being given or earned. There's more women having associate's degrees, master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, PhDs. A higher percentage of women are getting those degrees. So we want to learn as a group.
I can still remember my mother going back to get her master's when I was a young man. She just wanted to learn. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. I was still in high school and she got her master's. She had to go back to school. So
I love that. What we also have to get across to women is it's empowering to have the information, to know what is going to be best for you.
That goes to the fearless.
That's right. Be fearless when it comes to your financial situation because
knowledge is power.
That's right. No, I love that. Knowledge is power. Absolutely.
Anything else we need to know for the women listening, or if somebody wants to get a message across to their mother, grandmother, or something in that area?
Be brave. Don't wait. There's people out there that understand your situation, that are there to help and will help and will care about you.
Yeah, we want to help you. We understand the situation you're in. You will be controlling the money very soon. And we want to help you do it the right way, the way you want to do it.
And if you already control the money, it's a good idea to get some help, making sure that you've got, your own target. Because just like I've noticed, just like men who get single focused on work, that's all they think about. And they're just trying to make money and they don't really pay a lot of attention to their finances until it's really late and maybe too late.
Yep.
It's very important to pay attention to these things. The earlier, the sooner you do it, the better.
Okay. Noted. David, if somebody has some more questions, how can they get in touch with you?
They can contact us by going to our website, rvawealthmanagement.com. You can sign up for a 20-minute Ask Anything call. And it's just like it sounds. It's 20 minutes on the phone. Ask anything you want to ask. It will be answered. It doesn't cost you anything. So feel free to do that. Or if you want to just sign up for a complimentary consultation, go to the website, do that, come in and meet with us. We do love working with women, period.
Yes.
So, we really do enjoy it. We're as a team, we understand the needs in that situation and we want to do the best for them every chance we get. So give us a holler, set up that 20-minute Ask Anything call. We'd be happy to work with you.
All right. Thank you, Robin, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And thank you for listening. Please like, follow, and share this podcast with your friends. Until next time, I'm Wendy McConnell.
Thank you for listening to the Unleash Your Retirement podcast. Click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. Visit our website at www.rvawealthmanagement.com or give us a call at 804-497-2100. And don't forget to click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of RVA Wealth Management. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.
Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. Results will vary. Past performance is no indication of future results or success. Market conditions change continuously. This commentary reflects the personal opinions, viewpoints, and analysis of RVA Wealth Management. It does not necessarily represent those of RFG Advisory, Private Client Services, their clients, or their employees. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by RVA Wealth Management or RFG Advisory, or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Securities offered by registered representatives of Private Client Services member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory, a registered investment advisor. Private Client Services, RVA Wealth Management, and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place.